The 20th century digital revolution has brought vast information access, built stronger connections, boosted economies, and improved lives. The open source movement has powered this revolution by promoting collaborative development of technology for everyone. Building on this philosophy, digital public goods are now leading us into a new era of socio-economic progress. DPGs are open source software, data, AI models, standards, and content that can be used by any government or private organization to help attain the Sustainable Development Goals. The implementation of DPG to set up systems that enable essential, society-wide services is called a digital public infrastructure. For example, India's Diksha uses various building blocks from Sunbird for knowledge sharing, while Philippines' Philsys uses MOSIP for building an identity system. The DPI approach is critical to solve population-scale problems, and a dedicated community of builders, adopters, and contributors is vital for its success. Code for GovTech was conceptualized in 2022 with a mission to catalyze and grow such a vibrant community. This year, it has been scaled up in partnership with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Omidyar Network India, Digital Public Goods Alliance, and GitHub. It has two core components to it. First, a long-term community building program, and second, a dedicated mentoring program. As part of this year's mentoring program, 103 contributors were selected from more than 2,000 applications representing 415 colleges and 30 private companies. Guided by 87 mentors from 20 organizations, they contributed to 38 products, embarking on a transformative learning journey. These projects spanned education, healthcare, skilling, communication, e-commerce, and a lot more. Let's hear from the contributors, mentors, and our super mentors about their experience.
I used to be a person who, used to put herself in a box and learn from a very restricted sort of environment. Just have certain things mapped up to me and I used to learn from them. But I think C4GT changed that a lot for me, and I would cherish that for the rest of my life.
I believe that every engineer has something to offer, and I encourage everyone to get involved.
And it's remarkable how a community can come together to create impactful solutions that can address real-world challenges.
If I talk about what skills that I have learned, it's how to make that product scalable and configurable. This is not about coding. It's about the personal growth, as I said, the professional development, and making a difference through technology.
As an endeavor brought in to be able to attract the students or find the student.
We noticed that some parts of our code actually relied on API keys. So our code was actually not entirely open source as we intended. So when Prekhar pointed that out, we also updated our code so that end-to-end it's open source.
They have been willing to look out for what is the latest technology available for our problem statements. They have been able to test it against what our current setup is. And in many cases, they have been able to improve on our current setup.
Impact is basically one of the most important things we discuss in our community calls. So typically open source contributors try to lock themselves up to very minor issues that they can do rather than create a project on top of the product. That's the very larger difference between C4GT and other community contributions.
I found C4GT to be very highly structured in its approach towards creating sort of a DPG building block sort of ecosystem. Initiatives like C4GT will help DPG builders and DPI builders, building organizations, greatly accelerate the pace at which they are trying to enable a particular ecosystem.
The program has provided an excellent opportunity for knowledge sharing, mentoring, learning, and leveraging the talent pool to co-create DPGs.
The way I see the program as a community of communities, where the program really helps these communities to build up their open source muscle.
But I've been pleasantly surprised, very happy with how I think this is progressing. And I think if this is a sign of what we're going to see in the future, I think I would argue that C4GT is here to stay with both the community of contributors as well as the DPG builders.
These contributions are solving real-world problems, which have the potential to positively impact the lives of billions. The program spanned across 63 days with over 1,440 mentoring hours, 20,000 coding hours, and more than 9 lakh lines of code. But this is just the beginning. The mission is to have a growing and vibrant global community of thousands of active members. We invite the current community members to take this mission forward, guiding us to a future where technology and innovation powers development.